And I'll be with you for the next approximate 15 minutes, which is the duration of the tour. And we know that you have very busy schedules, so in order to keep in good time, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them afterwards, as we have a workstation just outside, and a Qualcomm representative will be happy to answer those. So that said, I'd love to introduce you to Brian, who will kick off the demonstrations using Qualcomm technology and solutions.
Hi, how's everyone doing? Good morning. So I'm going to start the demo over here with the August Smart Lock. But before I do, I want to set the stage for something and let you know what you're going to see throughout this connected smart home. So there's three things that you should keep in the forefront of your mind. One is that all of these different devices are using a software called AllJoin. It allows them to find, connect, and then do something interesting. Okay? Number two, each of these devices, they're all communicating locally. Right? They're not talking out to the server. They're talking amongst themselves peer on our home Wi-Fi network, right? And that's because of AllJoin allows for peer-to-peer communication. Third thing is that each of these device manufacturers, for each of the demo experiences, they didn't get together in a room and say, when your product does this, my product does this. They put AllJoin on there and allows them to interoperate. So the companies don't have to work together, but their products do, right? AllJoin, local interoperability. This is the August Smart Lock. You just put it on the back of your existing deadbolt that you have. So you saw there's still a key, you could still use it like a regular lock, but it turns my phone into a digital key. And I can grant access to maybe relatives when they come in on the weekend, maybe a cleaning crew between a certain hour of the day, or I can remove access and kind of pull those keys back so they can't get into my home. But this smart lock is made even smarter because it has AllJoin on it. There's two pieces that it uses. I'm going to explain them in detail because you're going to see it again and again throughout all the different experiences. It uses an AllJoin notification. And an AllJoin notification is defined to be a small amount of text that can be rendered on any device capable of doing so. So you're going to see this TV from LG. It's going to show a notification. There's a TV in the kitchen. There's an alarm clock behind you over here that will show it underneath the time. My Qualcomm talk, this will also show the notification, right? Because these devices speak AllJoin. The second piece is an AllJoin event. And it's different than a notification because a notification is a machine-to-person interaction. The devices are talking to us. An AllJoin event is a machine-to-machine interaction. Devices are talking amongst themselves to perform something interesting. So what we've done is these LifeX light bulbs here, and the ones in the kitchen, they're going to respond to the lock-unlock event, right? In the lighting app, you would just, as a consumer, pick the lock when the lock unlocks, set the lights to full brightness. So you're going to see that now. Now remember, I can unlock the lock. I said notifications can be rendered on anything.
Welcome home. Paul.
So you see it there on the TV. It's here on my Qualcomm talk. You see it on the other devices, and you hear these speakers play that message. And that's because there was a Qualcomm AllPlay adapter plugged into these speakers. You'll hear about AllPlay in the last room. But what it was doing is taking that text, it received it, and using nuance converted it from text to voice in real time. So it's really neat. All these devices interacting amongst themselves, very, very cool, very powerful, really neat experience. But what if we want to interact with all the devices ourselves? What if we want to control something? So what I have here is just an Android device. It's running an Android application. Any developer could write this, right? They can use the AllJoin SDK, put it in their application because it allows them, as you see here, I found 10 devices thanks to AllJoin. I can connect to them. And the interesting thing we're going to do, like I said, is control panel. Right here I have the higher AC unit. It's a heating, it's an HVAC. It allows for Qualcomm connectivity in it to connect up to our home network, and it uses AllJoin. Hire announced this at IFA just last year. So what I'm going to do here is I see it on this list, I'm going to select it. Now this application has no knowledge that this is an AC unit. It has no idea what its capabilities are. The device through control panel is telling it, put these items on the screen for the user to interact with. Pretty neat. It doesn't know what on is or off. I do. You guys could go build a device today, bring it into this home that uses AllJoin. We plug it in without any changes to this application. It pops in and I can control it. Very, very cool. So I'm going to turn the AC unit on. You hear it, and it's going to tell me what the current temperature is. It's 25 degrees. So what I'm going to do here, you know what, I think it's going to, a little cold in here, right? You guys want to heat it up just a little bit maybe? So I'm going to put it here to 28 degrees. You heard it ding, you see it go to 28, and it's going to send an AllJoin notification. And that notification is shown on the displays. And it also sent an event. And it told the event throughout the home, things are heating, right? I'm heating up. You see those lights over there, they turned red, right? It's a little quick, but they turned red to show that the home was heating. Maybe they could have just turned a more soft red, so that way we feel warmer, we don't have to turn the heater up as high. So the last demo that we have in this room that I'm going to show you is right over here. Now, I love wine, my wife loves wine, temperature, all sorts of environmental factors, motion, and so to really understand what's happening with our wine and keep it in good condition, because you invest in it, we bought the Alertus wine sensor from Card Access Engineering. It has Qualcomm connectivity in it, and they put AllJoyn on top of that. What can happen now, just imagine that I'm sitting at home on the couch, and the sensor can detect when the door is open or closed. So the door opens, so my wife opens it up, right? And I see the notification, I say, honey, please pour me a glass. So she has to go over here in the kitchen. She goes, she gets another glass, I've distracted her. And what happens? The door's left open. So we programmed our lights in the kitchen here from LifeX to interact to that, right? I've distracted her, I'm at fault, I come in, I apologize, I saw the lights, right? And I close the door. And then we have our wine and go about our day, right? So it's really neat. Again, Card Access Engineering, LifeX, TV manufacturers, August, Haier, LG, they don't have to work together, their products will. I said AllJoyn a lot in this presentation. That's because Qualcomm Innovation Center originally created AllJoyn. We open sourced it first in January of 2011. We've now moved it over to the Linux Foundation, hosted by the All Seen Alliance. This was created in the end of December just last year, right, with 23 founding members. Since then, in the last 6 weeks, we've grown to 35 members, right, so it's growing very rapidly. And all of these companies agree that AllJoyn is a software to power the Internet of Everything. And I say everything, not the Internet of Things, right? Because we are also connected to this, right? It's not just the devices. We are a part of this whole experience. So these companies will be releasing products that use AllJoyn, and they're committed to doing so. So if you build products, if you write applications, you can go to the allseenalliance.org, you can download the software, you can play with it, or you can sign up to the Alliance and get involved and really help be a part of the Internet of Everything. So with that, I think I'm going to send you on the way over here. Thank you for this, and you'll be able to come into the bedroom here where you can talk to my colleague. And oops, I guess we're going to hold off for just a second.
May we have time for one more
Oh,
question?
we're coming in? Huh? Okay.
We have time for a question.
We've got time for a question or two if you would like.
Our clock's on the TV blinking 12 o'clock. We have another clock here on the table on our alarm clock blinking 12 o'clock, and then on the far wall there's another clock blinking 12 o'clock. So you've probably seen this happen in your house, maybe after a lightning storm and the power goes out, it comes back on. You have to run from the microwave, go to the stove, go to the bedroom, reset all these clocks. But as Brian said in the other room, AllJoyn is a language of interfaces. Some of these interfaces are standard, and one of those that will help us with this is the clock interface. So I'll go to our control panel and find the clock interface. See, we could set time or set alarm. For now, we'll just set the alarm, the time. You can see all three of the devices show up on our control panel. They're selectable, so you can pick any one, any two, all three of the devices. So those are all the three clocks. We'll go ahead, if there were more, they would populate in this list. We'll say set time, and 1, 2, 3, they all update automatically. So that's the value of the standard interfaces. You can take light functionality and group them across multiple devices. Another standard interface we have is the lighting interface. We'll use that, we could use that in some a scenario like if we had a burglar alarm in the room and somebody tripped it. The burglar alarm could send out an AllJoyn event alerting all the lights to flash, maybe to scare the burglar away.
So all these objects are well defined because you have different objects, of course.
Yeah, so like I said, there's some standardized interfaces that are available per the objects, and it's really a language of interfaces more than it's a language of objects. So they'll talk more about that at the Genius booth out there, so if you'd save your question for those guys, they'll give you a lot more detail on that. So now that you've learned a little bit about that, the standardized interfaces, Brian talked a lot about AllJoyn, let's really just get into Bobby's day. So Bobby, he's a happy guy, but just doesn't like getting up in the morning. I can't blame him. I don't like getting up either. But we're going to use AllJoyn to help us out, getting Bobby up. So we're going to go to our standard alarm clock here. It's got AllJoyn embedded inside, so we're going to go back to our set time interface and see that we could set the alarm. Instead of having all the three clocks pop up, only the device that has the alarm capability pops up. So again, it's just the interface that comes up, not just the whole device. So we'll go ahead and say set alarm. So what's going to happen here in about 30 seconds is going to flip over to the next minute, and then the alarm's going to go off. And that's going to send an AllJoyn event to go out over the network. Some of the information in there is going to be that it's coming from an alarm clock. It is an alarm, and here's the time. the other devices are going to respond to that. So we have the LifeX Wi-Fi LED light bulbs on the wall. They'll get that event and they'll respond appropriately. So here we go.
Good morning. Good morning.
So you can see the light bulbs came up in a nice sunrise pattern, and then our smart toy Teddy here spoke good morning to Bobby. So he's not just an electronic teddy bear that says one of 5 different randomized sayings. He's actually, because of having all joined in there, he's customizable by the manufacturer to react differently to different type of events. Of course, this was a good morning event. He says good morning, but we'll have him say other things as we have other events in this demonstration. So now Bobby's up and at him for the day. He's just like any other little kid and loves to have fun. So we're going to show you how all join can be fun too. We have an application here from Disney Interactive called Nemo's Playground. Nemo's Playground uses all join in its most traditional use case, which is for low latency app-to-app communication. So Bobby could have his tablet, he could invite his friends over to bring their tablets and enjoy this multiplayer, multi-user game, multi-screen game where they could pick their favorite fish on their device and use it to guide the fish through this reef here to try to find as many pearls as they can before the time runs out. So Bobby probably could spend all day playing this game, but at some point in time, we're going to have to put Bobby to bed. Unfortunately for us, Bobby doesn't like going to bed almost as much as he doesn't like getting up in the morning, so we're going to need a little help putting him in. We're not going to use our alarm clock this time, but we have a smart plug where this standard table lamp is plugged into. So we could find that on our control panel, just like Brian did for the fan demonstration in the living room. See that it has on and off capability. Some smart plugs have energy management. This one's typical on and off. But you know what? We're probably not going to have our tablet with us when we're putting Bobby to bed, but we will have our talk watch on us. And pre-installed on Talk Watch is the All Join application. You can go ahead and click on that. You can see all the devices are discovered via the All Join application, just as they were on the tablet. We can pick the bedroom, and we see the smart plug here has on and off capability. So that same control panel is offloaded here on the Talk Watch. So we'll go ahead and say off. This initiates the good night event sequence from the smart plug, and as you can see, the LifeX light bulbs receive that, and they go down. And Teddy also receives that good night event coming from the smart plug, and it knows to say good night to Bobby. And hopefully Bobby will go to bed. We can go enjoy some of that wine with Brian in the other room. But you know what? Bobby, he's sneaky. He didn't even want to go to bed in the first place. I don't think he's going to stay in bed. And with all this technology in this house, it wouldn't surprise me if he hasn't taken some of that in bed and tried to use it instead of going to bed, maybe watch some YouTube or play some games. Well, we have our latest technology here, our Qualcomm Smart Gateway. It's going to help us really catch Bobby in the act. So inside that Qualcomm Smart Gateway, we have our Qualcomm Internet Processor, also known as IPQ. IPQ takes our mobile processing power and puts it into that smart gateway. So now with all this extra processing power, we can have all kinds of services and applications directly to that gateway. So of course we're running all joint for this demonstration, but another application that's running that's going to help us is called Stream Boost. Stream Boost detects and manages all the streams that are going across each device in your network. So when Bobby starts up a YouTube video when he should be sleeping, Stream Boost detects the stream and All Join sends out notifications. But luckily, Teddy gave him a little advance warning saying you should be asleep now. So hopefully he puts the tablet away on his own. So he knows, because he knows I'm coming up to get him. Because even though I'm out having a glass of wine with Brian, I get the notification that Bobby's watching YouTube on my Talk Watch. So that's the fun of all join we have here in Bobby's day. Now we're going to go take you to the media room and see how the adults can have some fun with the audio solutions.